Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ergin. Today I want to talk to you about something very important. Vegetables and diabetes. It's kind of a cliche, right? But many people come to my office and they say, Doctor, I eat healthy. I eat vegetables every day. But my blood sugar is still high. I don't understand what's happening. Well, today I'm going to tell you the truth about vegetables and diabetes. Some vegetables are very good for you. Some vegetables, they can make your blood sugar go to 200, 250, even 300 very fast. And I bet some of these vegetables will surprise you. I'm going to start with a few good vegetables quickly, but then I will spend most of this video talking about the vegetables that can be dangerous for diabetics, because this is what you really need to know. So make sure you watch until the end, because I will give you my simple rules and some tricks to treat these problem vegetables safely. And if you really want to eat them, you better watch. Now, the good vegetables. Let's do a quick overview. So, vegetables that are safe ones are spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, cucumber. How about some lettuce? Celery, asparagus, zucchini, green beans. All of these green vegetables are excellent for diabetics. They have very low carbs. They will not spike your blood sugar. My rule is simple. If it is green and grows above the ground, and I'm not talking about the weed, okay? But it is probably, the rest of it is good for you. You can eat these vegetables as much as you want. Okay, so that's the good news. Now let me tell you about the vegetables that can cause big problems. Big problems for diabetics. Dangerous vegetables for diabetics. What are they? Well, potatoes, right? The biggest problem. So let's start with this biggest potato problem. I know everyone loves potatoes. In America, potatoes are everywhere. French fries, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, hash browns, you name it. But here's the truth that nobody wants to tell you. Potatoes are not really vegetables for diabetics at all. They are more like eating bread or candy, similar to that. One medium potato has around 37 grams of carbs. So after you subtract the fiber, you still have 33 net carbs. This is same as eating 8 teaspoons of sugar. Did you hear me? This is same as eating 8 teaspoons of sugar. And the glycemic index of potato is 85. This means that your blood sugar will go up very fast. I have patients who eat baked potato for lunch and their blood sugar goes from 120 to 280 milligram per deciliter in just 1 hour. Let me tell you a story about my patient Maria. She came to me. She was very frustrated. She said, Doctor, I'm eating healthy. I have baked potato every day for lunch with some vegetables. I'm like, what else? Then she goes, my blood sugar is always high after lunch. I told Maria, look, the problem is not the vegetables you eat. It is the potato that you think is the best vegetable for you. The problem is the potato. She was shocked. She said, but Dr. Potato is a vegetable. It should be healthy. I said, no, Maria. In Italy, maybe, but not in here. For diabetic people, potato is like eating bowl of rice or piece of cake. When I say Italy, I mean like in Italy, people move. In the United States, we don't. We just sit, okay? We don't eat potato in the United States, especially if you have diabetes. When you eat potato, here's what happens in your body. The starch in potato breaks down into glucose very fast, and your blood sugar shoots up if you don't use that glucose. Now, Italians, they like to walk everywhere, right? In the US, we are in our car. We do drive-thrus, we just sit on our butt all day long. And then you eat the potato, the sugar goes up, where's that gonna go? Well, your pancreas has to work very hard to make that insulin, Maria. If you're a type 2 diabetic, your pancreas might not be able to keep up. It's already like retiring. I'm like saying, I'm done with you. And here's the worst part. Different types of potatoes are all bad for diabetics. Red potatoes, white potatoes, russet potatoes, they all have high glycemic index. Even sweet potato, which people think is healthy and has a glycemic index of 54, which is better than regular potato, but still too high. All right, let's talk sweet. Corn. It's a big deceiver. It's a very dangerous vegetable. Many people think corn is healthy because it is yellow. It's natural. It grows on farm. But for diabetics, corn is terrible. 1 cup of corn has 36 grams of carbs. Net carbs after fiber is 32 grams. So this is almost same as potato, right? And sweet corn, which is what most people eat, has glycemic index of 60. Your blood sugar will spike very fast. I have a patient named Robert. He loves corn on the cob. Every summer, he goes to barbecue. He eats 2 to 3 corn on the cob. Then he calls me next day, "Doctor, my blood sugar is 320. It was 320 yesterday evening." He's crying. "Well, I don't know what happened," he goes. "Well, I only ate grilled chicken and I'm like, "What else?" "Corn." I told him, "Robert, look, the chicken did not spike your blood sugar. The corn did." He couldn't believe it. And believe me, some people really don't know that. So you might be one of those who will be like, "Duh," But he didn't know that. He said, "But doctor, corn is a vegetable. How can a vegetable spike my blood sugar so high?" Because corn is not like broccoli or spinach, Robert. Corn is full of starch and sugar. For your body, eating corn is like eating candy. And here's something most people don't really know. Corn syrup, right? Which is in so many processed foods, comes from corn. If corn syrup is bad for diabetics, why do you think corn itself would be good? Now, pumpkin. This is a fall trap. Let me talk about pumpkin. In fall time, like right now, everyone is eating pumpkin. Pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread, roasted pumpkin, pumpkin soup, yada yada. People think pumpkin is healthy because it is orange. It has vitamins. It's natural. But pumpkin has a glycemic index of 75. This is very, very high. 1 cup of pumpkin has 16 grams of carbs, 12 net carbs after fiber. And because glycemic index is so high, your blood sugar will spike very fast. I remember another patient her name was Susan. She came to me in October. She was very sad. When I say October, I think it was like October 1st. We are still in October right now. She said, "Doctor, I have been eating healthy all month. I make pumpkin soup every week. I roast pumpkin as a side dish. But my blood sugar readings are terrible." I asked her, "Susan, how much pumpkin are you eating?" She said, a lot." "I thought it was healthy vegetable," she goes. "So I eat a big bowl of pumpkin soup for lunch and roasted pumpkin with dinner." I had to explain to her that pumpkin is not like other vegetables. It is high in carbs and spikes blood sugar very fast. Now, butternut squash, that's a winter problem. People love it in the winter time. They roast it, they make soup with it, they think it is very healthy. But butternut squash has 21 grams of carbs per cup, 16 net carbs after fiber. Glycemic index is 51. Now, not as bad as pumpkin or potato, but still too high for diabetics. The problem with winter squashes is that they taste sweet. When vegetables taste sweet, it usually means it has a lot of natural sugar. And natural sugar still spikes the blood sugar. Now, parsnips, the hidden danger, right? Why? Well, parsnips look like white carrots, but they are much worse for diabetics. It's better than potato if you cannot stop the potato, but most people don't even know what parsnips are. That's a bigger problem. But if you eat them, you need to be careful. Now, parsnips have around 23 grams of carbs per cup, 17 net carbs after fiber. Glycemic index is 52. Now, I had a patient who was making vegetable soup with carrots, celery, onion, parsnips. She couldn't understand why her blood sugar was spiking after eating that healthy vegetable soup, right? The problem was the parsnips. Now let's go about beets, right? This is a red alert for you. Now, beets are a problem vegetable. Although they are great, they're healthy, they're good for blood pressure, right? People think they're healthy because they're natural, they have antioxidants, which I agree, okay? Again, like I said, it's great for blood pressure, but beets have 17 grams of carbs per cup. 13 net carbs after fiber. Glycemic index is 61. It's pretty high. So when you eat beets, especially cooked beets, your blood sugar will go up fast. And pickled beets, even worse, because they often have added sugar. Now the carrots is my orange warning for you. The carrots are not as bad as potatoes or corn, like I said, but you still need to be careful. Raw carrots have glycemic index of 16, which is okay. But cooked carrots have glycemic index of 47, which is getting pretty high. 1 cup of carrots has around 12 grams of carbs, 8 net carbs after fiber. And this is not terrible, but it is not like eating broccoli either. The problem is many people eat a lot of carrots. They put carrots in soup, in stew, They eat carrot sticks as a snack. If you're eating 2 to 3 cups of carrots, you're getting 24 net carbs. This is like eating a small potato. Now, how about the green peas? Well, I call them the deceiver. This is a vegetable that surprises everyone. Green peas, right? People think because peas are green, they must be good for diabetics. Wrong! Green peas have 25 grams of carbs per cup, 16 net carbs after fiber. This is a lot, and glycemic index is 54. I have many patients who eat peas thinking that they are like green beans, but peas have 5 times more carbs than green beans. Let me explain why these vegetables are so dangerous, right? First, they have high carb content. You got that. And when you eat a lot of carbs, your blood sugar goes up. You got that too. Second, they have high glycemic index. This means the carb turns into glucose very fast in your body. And if you didn't use it, it will turn into fat if you have insulin. If you don't have insulin, glucose runs high in the body and causes a lot of damage. Third, people eat large portions of these vegetables because they think all vegetables are healthy. But eating large portions of high-carb vegetable is like eating a large portion of bread or rice. And the fourth, these vegetables often taste good, so people want to eat more of them. Like sweet corn tastes sweet, roasted pumpkin tastes sweet. This makes people eat bigger portions. And what's the real-life impact? Let me tell you what happens to my patients when they eat these vegetables. They eat dinner with potato or corn. 2 hours later, their blood sugar hits 250, 300. They feel tired, thirsty. They need to urinate frequently. If this happens every day, their A1C is going to go up. Their diabetes will get worse. They will need more medication. And then they will develop complications. I have patients who are doing well with their diabetes, but then they start eating healthy, buy more vegetables to their diet. And I was happy for them. They chose wrong vegetables. After I got the details, they're like, oh yeah, I'm eating potatoes, corn, pumpkin, they're great. No, they're not. Their diabetes got worse, not any better. But I don't want to give up on, these vegetables completely. I know what you're thinking, like, doctor, I love potatoes, okay, I love corn. Now I hate you because you tell me not to eat them. Well, I don't want to give them up completely. So, I understand. Let me give you some strategies to eat these vegetables more safely. You can still eat, okay? Number one is a portion control. Instead of eating the whole potato, eat the quarter of a potato, okay? Instead of eating the cup of corn, eat a quarter cup. Small portions will cause smaller blood sugar spikes. And strategy number 2 would be combine with protein and fat. If you eat potato, eat it with chicken and salad with olive oil, for example. The protein and fat will slow down the blood sugar spike. And strategy number 3 would be choose better preparation methods. For example, don't fry the potatoes. Don't add butter and sour cream on top of that. Boil them or bake them plain. This won't make them low carb, but it won't make them worse than what they are. Strategy 4. Eat them earlier in the day. If you're going to eat high-carb vegetables, eat them for breakfast or lunch, not for dinner. Because this gives your body more time to process the carbs and you're typically more active during the day, hopefully. And strategy number 5, obviously, I always tell you this, and you probably ignore me every time, but exercise after eating, right? If you eat potato or corn, go for a walk after eating. Exercise helps your muscles use up the glucose and lowers the blood sugar. And strategy number 6 would be to check your blood sugar. Always check your blood sugar 1 to 2 hours after eating these vegetables. See how they affect you personally. If you have a CGM, for example, Dexcom, Libre, Eversense 365, all will be very helpful. Now, everyone is different, but I'll tell you this. I'll give you a trick, a special trick for potatoes. Cook the potatoes, then put them in the refrigerator overnight. This creates something called resistant starch. Okay, I talked about this before. Resistant starch does not spike blood sugar as much as regular starch, right? That's a plus. Now you can make potato salad with cold potatoes or reheat them later. They will still spike your blood sugar, but not as much as fresh hot potatoes. Sweet potatoes versus regular potatoes, let's talk about that. Well, many people go like, hey, doc, is sweet potato better than regular potato? Sweet potato is a little bit better, yes. But regular potato has a glycemic index of 85 and a sweet potato has a glycemic index of 54. But 54 is still high. It is better, but it's not good. If you're going to eat potato, sweet potato is a better choice if you must eat potato. But don't think sweet potato is like eating broccoli. It's not. What about potato alternatives? Instead of mashed potato, try mashed cauliflower. Instead of French fries, try roasted radishes or turnips. Instead of potato chips, try kale chips. These alternatives won't taste exactly like potatoes, but they will satisfy your craving without spiking your blood sugar. Now, my simple rules for diabetics wanting to eat vegetables. Let me give you my simple rules. Rule number one, if it grows underground, be careful. Potatoes, carrots, beets, parsnips, they all have more carbs. Rule number two, if it tastes sweet, be careful. Corn, peas, sweet potatoes, they have natural sugars. Rule number three, if it is orange or yellow, be careful. These colors often mean more carbs. Rule number four, green vegetables are usually safe. Spinach, broccoli, green beans. Eat as much as you want. Rule number five, test your blood sugar. This is the only way to know how vegetables are affecting you. Now, the glycemic index trick is something important to know. Cooking increases the glycemic index. Like I said, a carrot's glycemic index can skyrocket after cooking. Raw carrots have like 16 of glycemic index. Cooked carrots have 47. Big difference, right? The raw beets have lower GI than cooked beets. So if you are going to eat high carb vegetables, try to eat them raw when possible. And let me give you a reality check, by the way, about the portions. Now, one medium potato is 33 net carbs. 1 cup of corn is 32 net carbs. 1 cup of peas are 16 net carbs. And 1 cup of carrots are 8 net carbs. Compare this to good vegetables. 1 cup of broccoli, 3 net carbs. 1 cup of spinach, 1 net carb. 1 cup of cauliflower, 3 net carbs. You can see the huge difference here, right? What about what my successful patients do, right? My patients who have best blood sugar control do this. They fill half of their plate with green vegetables, spinach, broccoli, green beans, and salad. They add quarter plate of protein like chicken, fish, eggs, cheese, etc. And they add a quarter plate of other foods. Maybe a small amount of rice if you're dying for rice, or a few bites of potato, or pieces of fruit on that tiny corner. They don't make potato or corn the main part of their meal. They treat them like small side dish or a special treat. I know this might, be disappointing to you, and you might be thinking like, doctor, you're just talking away all the vegetables I like. But I'm not trying to make your life difficult. I'm trying to help you control your diabetes and avoid complications. Believe me, you will forget about those vegetables pretty quickly. You can still eat them occasionally, but treat them like dessert, not like medicine. Small portions, special occasions, combined with protein and green vegetables. And focus on the vegetables that are truly good for you. Spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans. These vegetables will help your diabetes, not hurt it. And remember, managing diabetes is about making better choices most of the time, which will help your overall health, reduce your cancer risk, etc. You don't have to be perfect, but you need to be smart. The most important thing is to check your blood sugar and see how different foods affect you personally. Keep a food diary, learn from your own experience. But if this video helped you, please share it with someone who has diabetes or pre-diabetes or insulin resistance. Many people don't know this information, and it could really help them. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. This is Dr. Ergin from SugarMD. Talk to you later.